Hello there, and welcome back to another That Mabble video. And this is going to be one of the That Mabble curiosities. I do love my curiosities. So let's step back to yesteryear, many years ago, many moons ago. And I want to talk to you today about this book. It is Kia Asamiya, who's the creator, Batman Child of Dreams. Now this book came out, Kia did it around about the 2000 mark. Oh man, about 25 years old. About 25 years old now. So, and it was done as a manga. Came out in Japan. And, manga's always been pretty popular around here, but it seems particularly so at the moment, and there may be quite a few out there who don't know this thing existed. So yes, it was done by a very talented artist, written and drawn by that guy all that time ago. It originally came out in a Japanese magazine, in parts, and then was redone, I think, in a couple of volumes in English. And there's a lovely bit at the end of this book that speaks about that process, because of course the manga is read from right to left. So and the text was painted on. So there was this whole process when it was decided to bring it over to English of flipping the images and sorting out the text and replacing it with speech balloons. So it was quite a process, and it was translated by what's his name, Max Allan Collins, who I think did a wonderful job. So this particular volume is a compilation of the whole thing that I bought back in the day. It didn't take long for this to come out, and look, I've got to tell you, it is a lovely read. Done by, this guy obviously loves his Batman. Well, as he talks about in the interview in the back. But I tell you what, it really is a treat for people who like Batman, people who like a bit of manga. Let's have both at the same time. Great idea. I don't think anybody wouldn't think so. So let's just have a quick flip. Now this is going to be spoiler free. Okay, spoiler free, very important. So I'm not going to be telling you much. Well, I'm not going to be telling you really anything about the story, because I think that's fair play. But great stuff. You open it up to these lovely pages. Lovely pages. Check this out. Look at this. Batman, 2 words making one. A name he had taken many years ago when he was younger, when the Halloween melodrama had appealed to him. And yet, for all its childhood trappings, the terror had taken root, and a young man's fantasy of striking fear became a grown man's mission. He had learned to be worse than the bad men he sought, more terrible than the villains who rose to meet his challenge. Who doesn't want to read that? I'll tell you who. No one. No one doesn't want to read that. It's got a lovely touch of the romantic. How much of it was Kia, how much of it was Max, who translated, but it can only be both, really. I don't know. But I tell you what, it reads beautifully. Touch of the romantic about it. Now look, let's have a little bit more of a flip through. This guy knows how to do it, doesn't he? He knows how to do it. Oh, bits falling out. Lovely. Well, not falling out of the book, just my little markers. Here we are. Look at that. Even dropping down the line, you can see a lovely bit of the movie influence, the animated series influence, all sorts of things. Lovely. And as I said, spoiler free, just a little flip around. No need to, you'd have to do something like freeze the frames and read the text if you wanted to spoil it for yourself, but who's going to do that? I don't know. Your choice. But don't, because it's a great story. Where's the next one? Here's the next one. Lovely. Just a lovely story, really enjoyable. And as I said, the real touch of the romantic about it. What else did I... Oh yeah, there's a little bit of Catwoman there. A little bit of Catwoman. So, here I am talking about this book, talking about how lovely it is and how good a read it was. But I know what you're thinking. I can hear you screaming it into the camera. Well, into the screen, I suppose. Mabel, what's the go? They did this book. Lovely. I take your point. Lovely. I'll probably read it. Maybe. But what about a little bit of merch? Wouldn't it have been wonderful if they had done something to commemorate this? Wouldn't it be wonderful if there was another tangible thing that we could have if we got this book? Well, I can hear you saying it. I can hear you screaming it into the screen, and I've got an answer for you. Now, look at this. It just so happened when they released this book, because I'm sure I bought it pretty much the same time, they did a lovely, lovely Kia Asamiya Child of Dreams Batman figure. Now there's a full Batman figure under there, but pretty much covered by the capage. But I'm not going to complain by a bit of capage. I'm not going to complain about capage. That's never going to happen. You can mark my words there. But this was I got this from the comic shop, just done as pretty much an in-action figure, really. In-action figure there. But it's just a lovely, lovely thing. Lovely, lovely thing. And this is a product, I feel, of those lovely glory days in the early 2000s, in which the likes of DC Direct and co were being quite heavily influenced, I feel, by Todd McFarlane's bits and pieces that he was putting out. Because back, it really was it wasn't all that long before then, in the 90s. This was your typical figure. This was your animated series. This is your Star Wars in the 90s. But along came Todd, and he started doing quite exciting things with action figures. I'll talk about him more in a video, of course. But there was that period very quickly after action figures. He started to move into things like this. To do with Spawn. So this is what buying a Spawn figure looked like in the early 2000s. You'd go in, you'd drop some cash, not all that much more than buying an action figure. And you'd have this beautiful thing. It's not going to move. Who cares? No one wants it to move. Everyone wants it to just sit there and look cool. And look cool it did. And the likes of DC Direct started, taking a bit of notice of that, I think, and they started to bring things like this out. And figure buying was all the better for it, I think. So I don't have, as usual with these older things, I don't have the packaging anymore, but this is one of those Batmabel curiosity episodes. At least now you know it exists. Now you know the book exists. You'll be able to get that pretty easily, even if it's not physically, but electronically if you really want to read it. But at least now you know this exists. You can go out and go, you know what? A few minutes ago, I didn't even know this existed. Now I know I need one. And you can go out and you can go, righto, it's a Kia Asamiya Batman figure, Child of Dreams, and I'm here to say to you, all the very best luck in the world finding one. If you've looked at this and gone, boy oh boy, that's got to go on my shelf. So yeah. Look, it's a lovely thing. I will say, full disclosure, I want my viewers to know, it is a little bit, it's a bit tacky. These plastics, after quite a few years, they get a bit tacky and they really like the dust. But, you know, this thing has certainly been out of the package for all that time. So I don't know if it, you know, if you get one that hasn't been quite exposed to the open air. Well, I mean, they're not exactly airtight, these things. But anyway, you don't need any extra rambling. But there you go. Kia Asamiya, Child of Dreams. Lovely, lovely book. And I tell you what could look better sitting next to it when you buy your next favourite Batman book than a Kia Asamiya Child of Dreams Batman figure. Good luck, good luck, good luck. I hope you find one. Anyway, signing off. Till next time. Happy hunting. Bye-bye.